Hello everyone, welcome to Satsang. Let's make some silence first. Okay, for those who don't know, we use WhatsApp as a means of communication. You can send your questions through WhatsApp, it comes directly to me. I talk a lot about guidance, and sometimes there's a difficulty to understand what it is, because most seekers, they are so entertained with their worldly lives that there is no room for it. But there are others which are pushing and trying and are engaged in the quest, and eventually, uh, the possibility to have guidance will cross their path. And which one is worst? Never have had the opportunity to receive guidance, or to have had the opportunity to have guidance and not being prepared to it, not being at the level best to follow the guidance, to go through the process that guidance is taking you. Well, the second one is by far most difficult, because eventually, if the call is in your heart, the thirst for the quest for truth, it's not about if if the possibility to have guidance will cross your path. Seriously, serious guidance. Mhm. It is a matter of when that will happen. And the more serious you take your quest for truth, your call for truth, the more chances you will have to recognize guidance, firstly, and then to be able to follow it, to go through it, to go through the path that it is guiding you. And most seekers, they cross their path crosses to with the possibility to receive guidance. They don't recognize it, and if they do, they have very difficulties in following them. There are ways to prepare yourself for that, as you are in the quest for truth and your life is dedicated to that purpose. Learn to see everything as guidance, especially those situations that challenge you. Understand that you're in a learning process, and what do you need to learn? What do you need to let go? What do you need to transform? So by looking around and making everything your guidance, you start tuning and preparing. And understanding that if I'm not able to rise above this human nature, it is because of conditionings. And for these conditionings to be overcome, you have to transcend them. And that is something sometimes very challenging, very difficult. And transcendence of human nature can only be accomplished by the sincere ones that really, really have nothing else of interest but the divine. Even if they have some certain interests yet, the divine comes first, unquestionably. And for those who see spirituality as a worldly romance, it is not actually like that. Like I've spoken previously, you'll be tested in certain ways to see how is the level of your purity yet. Are you ready to receive certain teachings without twisting them, without disrespecting them? So it is very important that you use the spiritual philosophy that you have available and work as hard as you can so that when your opportunity comes, you can take it. Because if you don't take that opportunity and thirst is there, then the frustration that comes with it, the pain and the suffering that comes with it, it is very big. So the most difficult situations, and difficult situations, they are, there's nothing which is absolute, everything is relative, and a difficult situation is for you exclusively. Others may or may not find that situation difficult if they are in it. So it is your difficulties. So in these difficulties, there are things you need to learn or just to be exposed to them. Sometimes there's nothing to be learned, nothing directly like an understanding. Sometimes it is just about being exposed to that difficult situation. Because as you are being exposed and not fighting with it, not trying to change it, then deep transformations start to happen. Humility starts to come up, purification ensures, and the strengthening of the mind. Purification of the mind equals strengthening of the mind. And by following, seeing everything as guidance, you are preparing for the real guidance to come. And training to follow that guidance, and that usually puts you in front of some fears that will help you to be able to do it when it is for real. And for that, you will need a strong mind, because more or less everything is based on that strength, on that purification, on that silence, available silence. Because without it, your meditation cannot grow, transformation doesn't happen. It remains the same because it is like a water that has a bottle that has some holes in it. Eventually, if you put water inside, as water reaches the hole, it flushes out. So it is the same. You start meditating, intensifying your practices, then your fragilities arise, and then you give up again, and you stop, then wait some time and start all over again from where you left, from the same point where you were. And you don't move, it doesn't evolve. So everything can be there preparing you for that moment, or everything can be there just making you less prepared, and that depends on how you take it. Mm. Those ideas that you hold about guidance, about spirituality, about what you need to learn, how it should be, all those things, you have to understand that if you're still stuck in there, those ideas are useless. They are there just to disturb you, just to uh, divert your attention, just to maintain you unprepared, because they are about self-preservation. If you cannot, if you're not being able to transcend that human nature, so what does this really know? So the more you let go of those ideas and you embrace the teachings that are coming to you, life is teaching, it is preparing, if you can take it, if you can receive it. Because eventually, if the call is there, it is not a matter of if uh, you will have the possibility to receive guidance. It is when. And surely you will not want to miss it. Hmm? And that happens a lot. Seekers having the opportunity to receive guidance and not being able, not even to recognize that possibility. So unprepared, not being able to, not even just to recognize that they could have a possibility. And if they recognize that possibility, then it comes the other parts, the ideas that they have about what should it be, how should it be, all those things. And when the tests begin, they are not able to continue. And without this vision of the sacredness in the guidance, they tend to classify that which is pleasant as guidance, and that which becomes unpleasant as something, no, this cannot be guidance, this, I'm not sure if this right, not sure if this is for me. It is like this. And then when they understand uh, really what they left behind, what they missed, then a lot of pain comes. And it is complicated because guidance usually is something that it doesn't come very often. So if you're preparing for the possibility, the moment that it is possible for you to receive guidance, work diligently. Use the teachings, use the practices, everything you have that can make you strong. Hmm? Those people that are, those worldly people that are survivors, which they are called survivors. It is those people that have gone through very difficult things and they have managed to survive in different ways, not just about maintaining the life of the body, but also their mental health. Uh, and they are called because they went through certain hardships, intense situations, and they manage to overcome them. And these people, if you know some of them, you will see that they don't get impressed easily. Their minds doesn't sway very easily, doesn't get unbalanced very easily. Those who have been through intense situations, difficult situations. And that strength, that power is very important in the spiritual path. Because what is the point of having a direction go through here if then you don't have the strength to follow it? You don't have the courage to go through it. And when the directions are sweet, oh, guidance is so beautiful, oh, the master is so nice, and all of that. When guidance goes against what you think it should be, when it becomes a little bitter, then everything gets questioned because there's no strength. And self-preservation is on the wheel, and then you'll miss your opportunity. Then people say, oh, but isn't there always an opportunity? Of course it is. Of course. But divine time is a little bit different from human time. A little bit different. And sometimes for that particular guidance, you wait a few lifetimes. Not that it haven't knocked on your door, but you missed it. And again and again. And when you're able to see it and you miss it again, you turn your backs to it, then it will take longer. But there's only an opportunity. Yes, but you see, characters, uh, incarnations, they are like leaves on the tree. They sprout and they fall down very quickly, very quickly. And another comes and another comes. Time is a little bit different from the human perspective. So the best advice for those who are in thirst is prepare yourself. And then you'll be almost ready, ready to become ready. And then that beautiful path can unfold. Okay, so there's no questions, so we will end it for today. Keep up the practices, intensify, make it real.